Good morning. My name is Scartolli, and today I'd like to share with you my testimony of how, through Christ, I was saved. You see, when I look back on my life, the Lord was always with me. It's just I wasn't paying attention to Him. I was too busy being a proud man, quick to judge others, thought I had control over my life. I was a sinful man, and I likened myself to that new block of clay. Rigid but pliable, waiting to be molded. Not realizing the Lord was already working the clay in my life, already softening it up through trying times. It was one of these times in my life that I realized I had no control. See, several years ago, my son started to use drugs. And one thing led to another, and his addiction grew worse. He'd been in so many rehabs, I couldn't even count them. He would continue to go back to do drugs. And things had gotten so bad that I put him out on the streets. I had no choice. I've tried putting him in jail. I tried to save him. I was trying to fix him, but I had no control. My heart was broken. I lost all hope, had no faith. I became so depressed I could barely function. I couldn't bear to see him suffer no more. I just didn't want to exist anymore. I knew I needed some help. So I Googled Christian counseling and came upon Christ Church. So I came one Sunday. I said almost a year ago here. It must have been a year ago. Stood outside of church, distraught, broken, walking back and forth, deciding whether or not to come in. Suddenly I was just compelled to enter. I didn't know why at the time, but I know why now. So when I asked one of my friends, Doris, I didn't know where to start with the Bible. I'd never owned the Bible, or I'd never read the Bible. She said, start with John. Well, in John, I found the answer to why he came. See, in John chapter 6:44, here's my answer. No one can come to me unless the Father who has sent me draws him. Well, he drew me. I didn't come here on my own. He drew me. See, it was the Lord that compelled me to enter, so I may be saved by Jesus Christ. When I entered the church, Brother Gus was one of the first to greet me, tried to comfort me, offered me a seat with him and his wife, which I accepted. It was Advent, and Sam Cardillo was leading sermon that day, and he had lit the candle of hope. This is no coincidence. I don't remember the sermon, but my journey to Christ had begun that day. I left church feeling a little better, with a ray of hope, still broken. As time went on, my son's addiction worsened to the point I knew he was going to die. So I purchased some burial plots so I had a place to bury him. Most nights I would sit outside the house in my car, cry in private, asking God to take my life and spare his. But the Lord had plans for me. I had previously met with Pastor Jeff, so he knew what I was going through. A lot of pages, but it'll be short. And on several occasions, when I was slipping into darkness, Pastor Jeff would call me. And I would tell him, I can't believe you're calling. The Lord must have laid on his heart that I needed somebody at that moment when he sent Pastor Jeff. As time went on, I continued to attend church, and I hear how Jesus loved me first and redeemed me by his sacrifice on the cross. Yet I still thought I could fix my son. But on one of those nights, crying in my car, I prayed to Jesus, asking him to please take these burdens from me, because I could no longer carry them. So I laid them at the feet of Jesus and given myself to him with the understanding that I would accept whatever his plan was. At that moment, I was saved, because I accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And had given all to his will. Meanwhile, my son continued to worsen. He couldn't get into any rehabs. They gave up on him, lost cause. They're not going to keep putting money out. But now the Lord had taken up my battle. So on one occasion, when I had my son in the car, I called an agency that might help them. I spoke with several women, told them my story, and I could tell they were Christian women. Don't tell me how. I just knew. They listened to me, said they would see what they could do, and would call me back. Well, I couldn't tell you how many times I heard that. I'll call you back. That phone call never came. So as I was waiting for them to call me back, I took out my Bible that was graciously provided by Christ Church. Never had a Bible before then. I laid my hand on it, and I prayed out loud. Jesus, please let there be a place, let him get approved for somewhere. Because I knew he wasn't going to live much longer. As soon as I finished my prayer, I laid my Bible down, and my phone rang. There was a place for him. They got him approved for 30-day rehab. It was a miracle. But there were no vacancies. This was on a Friday. Always on a Friday he would try to do something, because then we had the weekend. So it was on a Friday. Called back on Monday. So again, my son went back onto the streets. I couldn't bring him home. Monday morning, again, I found my son. I got him in the car, and I called back the agency. They said they would check, see if there was a vacancy. So again, I got out my Bible. I prayed in Jesus' name. Please let there be a place for him. Again, after I finished my prayer, laid my Bible down, that phone rang. There was a place for him. Take him now, they said, right now. Kirkbride. He was in there many times. He was in all these places. You see what Jesus is doing? He's working through other Christians. He's working through other disciples on my behalf. Okay? Again, in John, chapter 14, 12 through 14. Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater. Greater works than these he will do, because I am going to the Father. Whatever you ask in my name, this I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask me anything in my name, I will do. And I'm witness to that, because he did. So as he was in rehab, I went to visit him, meet with his counselor, which I never did. Her name was Miss Paula. I mean, she was going to tell me a story that was another amazing story. She said the day before, it was a Sunday, her phone rings. My son's name appeared on her phone. She never had my son's phone number. She answered the phone. No one was there. She didn't think anything of it. That was Sunday. Monday, my son shows up. She sees him in the hallway. She said, I want him with me. Now, counselors are only supposed to have like 8 people. He would be 9. She said, I didn't care. I don't care if I lose my job. So I wanted him. See, the Lord had laid on her heart. Okay? Jesus provided disciples to work on his behalf. It made me a witness to his love and grace for all who truly believe in him. Today I'm being baptized in obedience to the Lord, my Savior, who has rescued my life. Thank you.